Welcome to Slayerfest 98. You don't even know what's going on with this show.
You're supposed to say your name.
Oh, I'm Zachary, Patton, Garcia.
I'm Ian Carlos Crawford, and we're here to talk Buffy Season 4's The Yoko Factor for the episode's 25th anniversary.
Yes, crazy. I'd hate dating them. We should just bring it back to the 20th anniversary. I feel like the 20th anniversary was just a couple years ago.
That's when I started this podcast. That feels like 10
years ago at this point.
I've missed you. It's nice to record with you and see you.
I know. Post all the moving, the traveling. I have now been to LA, so I'm so happy to talk Buffy the Vampire Slayer because I have now been to Buffy's actual house. I've been to Torrance, I've been to Buffy's house, I've been to Sunnydale, and I've been to the high school. And so I have a frame of reference for everything now, right? Like almost everything. I've got a couple notes here before we go into it, right? Buffy's house is the front yard always looks so much bigger in the show. And I can't believe how it's 3 steps up to the front door, basically. Everything's just so compact together, and it's a gorgeous house. And it looks so different because the front yard is overgrown. But I read something on a TikTok comment or something like that because there's a group of people who got to go into it for a charity event recently.
That was HelmutCon last year. Juliet Landau had them come in. Yeah.
Well, and I saw, is that what happened? That was her. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I saw comments where she was answering some of the comments and she said that the lady just, because she's older, cannot keep up with the front yard. And it's not to deter fans. It's just because she can't keep up with it. And so it's just a little overgrown. So I feel bad. I'll move on down there. Lady, right? I will landscape your yard for you. Doesn't deserve it. I really wanted to see the backyard, but I wasn't going to climb this lady's fence. And then it truly is so close to Torrance High School. I couldn't believe, because they always mention it. Sunnydale's a small town, Buffy's house is so close. But in my mind, I'm okay, movie magic, right? They load Sarah onto a bus and they drive her 30 miles across town to the high school to film the high school scenes. But no, they was walking. That's a 10-minute walk, a quick 10 minutes, not 7 minutes.
It's, I remember when I first drove there, I was like, this can't be it. We
truly
drove 2 minutes. Yeah.
And then when you turn the corner, the high school is just there. And I picture it surrounded by trees in a little neighborhood with little houses around it. And it's just on a corner. It's just there on a corner. Again, the front walkway looks so much bigger on film than it really is. 3 steps up to the front door. Jenny Callender's window's right there. It's so wild. And also, okay, have they ever said, asking the Buffy historian, have they ever said how far Sunnydale is supposed to be from LA? Because I took a 25-minute Uber ride to Torrance, and they make it sound like this bitch is 3 hours away.
They do. They really do.
They're always gotta go visit my dad. How come, Mr. Summers, how come you're not visiting your daughter 25 minutes away?
Right. You can do that drive.
But they've never said it in the show. She went on a Greyhound bus at the end of season 2 she was going on a journey.
She was going cross country.
25 minutes. She could have run.
I will say there was once when it took me an hour and a half to get there because of traffic. I was stuck in Uber on traffic.
Sure.
Even an hour and a half.
So ridiculous. Now I'm never going to be able to look at the end of season 2 again. I'm going to be all this drama for what? Your mama could have come to LA and found you.
I also want you to know, Zach, because we're talking, I was I just watched one of the Buffy episodes where she comes back for, oh right, that's the episode we're fucking talking about.
Yes, I have it in my notes here. They were really just hop, skop, and skipping away,
once Angel gets there, it's we act like it's a bit, but
it's not a trick. No, not a journey. Not a journey. She made that trip in 25 minutes. How did she? I don't know, because she don't even fucking drive. So did Joyce drive her this episode? I don't know. A lot of questions. We will visit.
So yes, we're here to talk the Yoko Factor. We are also going to do Primeval. I wanted you for this one since you picked Primeval.
Yes.
You liked this arc, right?
Yes, I do. Season 4 is a little bit of it's my least favorite season. Again, there's no bad Buffy season in my opinion, but I do tend to skip around season 4 a lot more. I don't tend to like pay attention to every episode. But I just love the fighting. You know, this was one of my favorite, like Primeval is one of my favorite fights in Buffy. I love them all joining together. This episode, I always forget that this episode is right before Primeval. It feels like such a middle season. Like I always thought the Angel and Buffy stuff was like middle of the season. And I'm always really surprised when it's there.
I forgot it was this episode. I thought it was the start of next episode because I don't revisit these ones as much. But right, even revisiting them, like even if it's like you said, something like this where you're like, oh, I thought that was, it's still fine, right? Like even if it's like an episode I don't revisit that much, it's still like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. Yeah. I like it. It has good stuff in it, you know.
And I will say, going through season 4, and you did a few of them too. This time around, I was like, oh. I always like say how much I can't stand Adam in the Initiative, but like there really aren't that many Adam episodes.
It's fun, but there's a lot to. Well, see, I maybe you've been doing it, so you've been doing all the 25th anniversary, so you have more of a reference for it. But in my mind, I still think there's like enough to be shaved down from Adam. I still think there's too much Adam, but I like the Adam stuff. Like I don't mind the Initiative stuff. It's just not my favorite. I'm just not like going towards it, you know.
And there's a world in which it worked. I do think it could have worked. It just didn't quite.
Yeah.
The Initiative, I felt like needed like 2 more passes for them to like really get there. And Adam,
a couple times, yeah.
And like Adam, I forgot how bad it is when he fights. Because like that costume, you can't move in it, so they like pan far away, and even the stuntman's like,
it looks crazy. It looks crazy, and it just feels like all of the Initiative stuff feels so hazy because when you do watch Initiative scenes, they are the exact same scenes over and over again. So if you have army guys talking, same scene. Adam is giving a speech to somebody. Same scene.
Always in that warehouse.
Always. I like forgot that he referenced Tony Robbins in this too because I'm perfect. Him and Caleb would have loved each other. They would have been boning and all of it, right? Like they could have like given each other sermons.
I wouldn't have been mad about it. Would have been mad about it. Yeah, like Adam, I think has 4 episodes.
Is that it?
He spends so much of the season where like we cut to him and he's talking about a plan.
I feel like there's an opening and closing monologue from him every episode. So what happened there?
Yeah, like Where the Wild Things Are and New Moon Rising. I was like, oh, he has 3 minutes of screen time in these episodes.
I need to know Sarah's ranking of seasons. I need to know where this ranks for her.
I would like to know her big bad ranking too. Of like
somebody needs to ask her that. She don't do no cons or nothing, but find her on the street, right? Like I think she's at a movie premiere right now or something.
When we finally get her on, we can ask her.
Absolutely. When she's being forced to do podcasts by Hulu.
And she's like, what do you queers want? Just ask me the questions.
She's like, you're not going to send me to Graham Norton. Really? I have my wine shoes, my wine box shoes.
This is what I have to do. Even the like new head of the Initiative, I was like, what's this guy's name? And I had to look it up, and I was like,
it doesn't matter. White man with a military haircut, you know, it's got random patches on his uniform.
Again, I have been covering this, and I was like, oh yeah, he's been the boss since Maggie Walsh. No, New Moon Rising, the episode before this, is his first episode.
I do remember him very, very particularly though, because I remember when, oh god, it must have been like a re-airing of the episode because season 5 was my first season. But I remember I had this Primeval on tape, and so that was like my season 4 that I would watch over and over and over again. And he was always there. So like he's in my head, he's in the season a lot more than he is, you know.
Again, same. I've been going through it and I was like, oh right, I forget this guy's name. How many episodes he been in? Oh, 2? He's in 3 altogether? Like I thought it was like right after Maggie Walsh this guy comes in, but I guess
no.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, again, I think the Initiative just like doesn't quite feel fully formed because like if he is the new boss, we should like know him a little better so that way it like is cooler. Well, like the episode before this when Riley, he's like, oh, Buffy and her friends are anarchists, Finn, and then at the end he like punches him and he's like, I'm an anarchist, and it's like, I don't know, him standing up to the new boss should be more impactful by it.
Yes, I feel like these impactful parts of these episodes kind of like they don't play them out long enough. Like Buffy going to fight Adam at the end of this one should have been like a bigger scene, but instead like more of the scenes in this one are just kind of, I guess, set up for the end, like, conflict, which, I mean, fair. I don't think it's bad writing, because, like, Spike sets it up for us. He's like, this is going to be the Yoko Factor, right? And
I
and
forgot
it plays
that he
out
explicitly says it. Like, I forgot that he says Yoko
But it just
Factor.
feels like an episode made out of scenes that would be sprinkled into episodes with, like, a bigger plot or something like that, I guess. I don't know. Like, Fever Dream-ish a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. We open on, he's like, McNamara's reporting to whatever higher-ups. Doesn't matter. He doesn't like Buffy, whatever. She's just a girl. And then we fade to Spike saying she's a lot more than that, which I like. We do a good cut. Adam and Spike also don't work for me. Like, it feels like Spike should not like this guy at all.
Well, and he's kind of double-crossing everybody, right? So he's going with whichever plan is going to, whatever way the wind is going to blow the best for him.
Yeah, he's
so
not
I don't hate that. And that feels very season 4 Spike, because, I mean, he's basically huddled in a blanket the entire season. So, if this is the current guy saying he's going to get the chip out of his head, then sure, why not?
But I do think they needed to pair Adam with someone interesting, because, like,
anybody, honestly. That man is in the cave by himself all the time, right? What does he do? What does he do all day? Because he's not out fighting. He's not out murdering, He, like, hunts a bunny every now and then.
And kills a child sometimes. You know what I did think of today when watching? I was like, does this guy have to go to the bathroom?
I had a lot of questions about him. Some of them I won't repeat, but he's an odd duck. I want to know which Real Housewives franchise is his favorite.
What's the dick look like?
I think
what's the situation?
Not
there?
Good. Jason Voorhees style dick is what I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't ask that one. Yeah, I feel like he's a Dorinda fan. Like he's got interests, and we deserved to know what Adam's interests were, because he's also a queer. This is a queer man.
Sure.
And I think he's into a lot of queer media,
He also stands Buffy.
I think he does. He would. That's why he wants to get, like, in touch with her. That's how we're going to get in touch with her, right? We're going to, like, hire a go-between.
The villains.
Yes. We're going to be like, bring her to me. And they're like, she's very strong. And I'm like, we know. Bring her.
Yeah, and she looks great, doesn't she? Like, I love the idea of him zapping her with that gun, being like, oh my God, Queen, I love your jacket.
Sarah, we're not trying to kill you. We're just trying to settle you down for a secon so that we can tell you how wonderful you are. And give you, like, some movie ideas.
Very normal things,
God. That might have just killed any chance we have of talking to her. She's going to be creeped out now.
So he tells Adam that he basically tells Adam the plan that Adam then comes up with, because he's like, talks about the friends, and that's Adam, which I'm like, doesn't this motherfucker know she has, like, he's like, friends? What do you mean? And it's like, what?
He's an odd duck. He doesn't really, like, I don't know. He got a lot of thinking time. So how do you not think about this? Also, them bringing up the fact that, like, they could wipe out her friends as a brand new plot seems like they've never thought of this. Has this ever been put into the show before?
Right? Like, because then Glory does do it when Glory's like, I'll kill your friends.
Yeah.
Like, that's like a threat
and she does it all nonchalantly too. She's like, that'll be a Tuesday for me.
Yeah. She does it, like, from the moment she, like, sees Buffy's family.
That's my Starbucks run. She, like, sees Anya in a Starbucks line just...
You are right. It's like, why didn't we do this before? I guess, like, Angelus kind of. But, like, killing Willow's fish really isn't that big of a deal. Killing Miss Calendar is, but...
See, that's the thing about TV shows, right, is it does wipe out realism, because in real life, all these people would be dead, like, so quickly, because what villain would skip the opportunity to, like, knock
Spike
her down and peg this way?
Right?
Yes, Spike would have, Angel would have, Drusilla would have, like, they would have been long dead. Yeah. But because we love these characters and they're in the credits,
they're not dying.
Allison Hannigan is getting paid to be here.
We get a Riley and Xander scene. I gotta like, I know that we love to hate on Xander, but I also would have assumed once he's like, she told me, I would have also assumed, if we're saying she told me, that, like, he knows.
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy, like, miscommunication, I think. I don't think, I don't know. It's just like, the whole episode is so weird, because we are, like, watching all of these people be so obsessed with, like, Buffy's sex life or who she's sleeping with, or like Riley gets upset that she has a body count.
She has an ex-boyfriend.
He is the man to get upset that her body count is not 0, right? Like, does he know about Parker? Did he learn about Parker? Because he's really going to flip shit when he learns there's 2.
Right, you would think, and like, they're like, what, 19 at this point? Maybe still 18? Like,
yeah.
She's had sex with 2 people, dude. Like, what? How many have you, like, has Riley never had sex with anyone before? Like,
and these are things that you kind of talk about to your partner. Like, I think Alistair knows what my body count is. I don't think I even know what my body count is. But like Alistair knows about some of my sexcapades. I've talked to him about this stuff. But Buffy does not talk to Riley about a lot of stuff. And it's very clear in this episode that she kind of already knows, like, she's got a lot going on here right now too. So she don't really want to talk about it. But she kind of knows what his reactions are going to be to certain things, right? So like, this should have been something that, because it's not just her losing her virginity. It's I lost my virginity and then my boyfriend went evil and tried to kill everybody, killed all of Willow's fish.
Killed my computer teacher.
That is something to confide in your new boyfriend about, especially the one who's like helping you fight the crime, right? So it's strange that she didn't feel comfortable talking to him about that. It says a lot about him.
If you recall, the last time you were on, we got one of those, Buffy told Riley everything about Faith, and then she's like, well, I fudged it. And it's like, how many times does Buffy have a talk with him where she's bullshitting?
Because he cannot handle it. This man cannot handle it. And I will still say that I think Riley is one of those guys who, had we like followed him a little bit longer, I think he was going to come around to women power, and like, you know, like fucking his wife was, you know, balls to the wall kind of woman, right?
Yeah, he liked a strong lady,
But we're not seeing that Riley here, and this is the Riley that really angers folks, and I get it. I surely get it.
Yeah, he definitely annoyed me this episode, and like, what's funny is New Moon Rising, Dana was like, this is the most I like Riley. Like, I like that he has an arc in this episode, because his arc is like, oh, Willow dated a werewolf. I didn't think she was like that. And then he comes around to being like, wait,
Willow has a body count.
Right.
And it's furry.
And then he comes around to being like, that werewolf is my friend. Like, and then does try to get him out. So like, he does have a little bit of an arc, but it feels like that could have been something that we continued with, like him.
There's good stuff with Riley. There's a lot of good stuff with Riley that could have been explored, and they completely drop it with season 5 because they know that he's like on the way out. They've like kind of reached the end of what they can do with Riley. But there's a world in which Riley, I'm glad we never got it, but like had his own spinoff, and people really came around to him because he did like have character development. He did change, and he did like, you know, he grew into somebody that probably would be likable. But that's not here, and we never saw it, and so this is the Riley we got.
And I also am just like, I would love to know how Buffy told him, because like he knows there's a curse, and I'm like, but I really wonder how she told. Like, I am curious.
I feel like she told him enough that he could have picked up on it and just didn't. And decided, like, I don't know, half listening or something like that. He looks like a half listener. He doesn't really fully.
He looks like. To her, he might not ask follow-up questions because he's just like, okay. And then
doesn't ask follow-up questions. And also, again, kind of going along with the toxic side of his sort of masculinity is it wouldn't be his first thought, because it does take Xander a couple times to say it.
It does. And like Xander's
it's not his first thought that she would have sex with somebody else, that she has ever done that, right? And so she probably did say enough to him, and he was just like, oh, but Buffy's never had sex,
she
right?
Didn't say, we fucked, so therefore she didn't, like, I mean, I'm like, you know, when you're younger, it is weird. Like, I don't know. There's like, I remember like one of my exes, I mean, I was like kind of a prude when I was like young. So like, I remember my one ex.
I was too,
had like, and no shame, but had like quadrupled. I think I had a body count of 1, and he had like 8 already at that point. And so I would get really self-conscious, but also like in a way where I'm like, am I good in bed? Like,
I never cared about anybody else's body count, but I always wanted to make sure that it like sounded like my shit was sparkling brand new, like in the plastic, right? And I was like, I would be like,
every time you're being
I guess I'm like, for the right person, you know? So sure, you know, they are young. Young and dumb.
We get Giles singing again, which I feel like they were just like, oh yeah, he's a good singer.
Yeah, they threw it into this season a lot because he didn't do it after this one, right? He's not in season 5 singing.
Nope, not until the musical. Yeah, and I kind of want to think this is like a cute side thing for him.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, and he's good at it.
Yes. So it's not like cringy because it's like, yeah, this is like an older guy who can sing and play the guitar. Sure, he could be like that dude you smoked a joint with, who like is like, want to hear my guitar? Like, I feel like sure.
He definitely strummed a couple chords for Joyce.
Yeah. More than a couple of chords. He's singing, and I do think I am charmed by his gasp when Spike walks in. He's like, as if Spike like caught him naked or something. Yeah. Spike immediately starts to sow the seeds here. I do like when he says, I want to speak to the lady of the house. He like fully is trying to emasculate Giles.
Well, and it works. It works. It fully works. Like everything that Spike tries to do is fully successful because one, I think Spike's superpower is being petty. Like he's very good at this.
Yes.
He's good at starting shit in the group chat. But also like everybody, I think that's what this season did really well is kind of setting up insecurities for everybody, and all of the insecurities were already there, and just the dominoes just needed to be like flicked, and that's what he did.
And I mean, right, this is a thing we like about characters like Spike or Cordelia or Anya, that they are enough on the outside, but they're like their perceptiveness is underestimated.
Yes.
Like
well, when nobody's talking to you and you're sitting in a chair tied up after, getting shot with an arrow, you're listening.
Right. There's nothing else to do. I do like that he knows them well enough to know how to like needle his way in. Like
Good for
also,
him.
this man has like nothing else to do, right? He can't fight anybody. So it's like, well.
Yeah. Can't even point a fake gun. That was hilarious. Oh, we're not even there yet. It's Willow and Tara playing with Miss Kitty next.
Right. Willow, yes.
Miss Kitty, who will later go missing, by the way. Miss Kitty.
Poor Miss Kitty Fantastico. They're playing with their cat. They're picking classes. Even I am not old enough to know what they're doing because my classes were still always online. So I'm like, is that like a book and you submitted like I don't even know what you fucking did.
Yeah, I used to talk to this guy who was my parents' age, and we actually talked about it on Nitty Judy one time. Go subscribe. Yeah. But he would tell me how, when I would like sign up for classes, one time he was telling me how he used to have to call in and sign up for classes on the phone.
That sounds stressful.
So especially when everybody's trying to get into a class and you're trying.
Well, God, that feels like trying to get like tickets from Ticketmaster.
I know. I just figured that they would just like write it down on a piece of paper, put it in an envelope, and send it off, and that's the classes they got. I know.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, they just like
fighting on the telephone.
God. This is cute. We're like upping the cuteness with them since Willow's officially come out the previous episode. And I do like the conversation here because the things that I love about Tara are very apparent here because she's very supportive. She's not trying. She's perfectly okay with Willow and Buffy BFF duo, right? She's not jealous. She's not. And that's when like Willow mentioned something about the dorm and she's like, oh, I just assumed you were rooming with Buffy.
Yeah, she lives and really lets live. Yeah. She lets her. Tara has never been the problem. There's not a single episode where Tara has ever done anything wrong. And this is a great example of it. It's just, she's comfortable in herself, which is so bizarre because like, she is introduced as a character who's not comfortable with herself, but she is comfortable with her relationships with other people. And again, that's so bizarre because she just didn't really have any friends. She had like her Wiccan circle and
it didn't seem like she was
you
close
would
with them.
think that, but that's just a natural like thing inside of her to just be comfortable and if Willow's going to go room with Buffy, that's fine. She's going to figure out her own situation.
I'll have you know, a compliment to your husband, which I will always pay him all the compliments. I was like, oh, that reminds me of like Alistair with Zach. And he's like, yeah, you do whatever.
I think Alistair is very Tara-coded, which would make me Willow. And I might use a little like sage under the pillow for something if I needed him to forget. But
so suddenly Alistair and I both wake up and don't have memories.
I guess. I don't know.
Like, oops, it went in the fireplace.
Sure. For petty stuff, though, right? Not like Bill Cosby stuff. Let's take it there. You know what? Maybe I just don't. The lesson here is don't cast spells on your partners. Let's just not do it. Let's just not do it.
Anyway, the compliment I was paying Alistair was that it reminded me of Alistair with you and I was like, oh, yeah, then do that. And I feel like I just really liked that because I feel like, especially in shows, normally it's like, ooh, that's going to be like a point of tension, but it's like fully not. Like Tara is like fine, right?
He is very Tara coded. And I like the little line, the little foreshadowing. I mean, I guess it wasn't intentional foreshadowing about the catnip problem line that she like says to the cat. She like picks up the cat and she's like, you have a catnip problem. Like Willow says it. Yeah. But like they planned to season 5, right? So they thought it was going to be done. So I guess they didn't really have.
I was thinking, that's funny they're bringing up drama again because then we get Restless 2 episodes from now where like that's her nightmare is like being in a play. But yeah, and I like that Willow. Again, I'm always about like friendship relationships. And I like that Willow's kind of a little bummed because she says, I wrote it down, assumed that her and like Buffy would like be rooming until old ladyhood. And now it hardly feels like they're roommates at all. Yeah. And like, I mean, you know how like weird I am with friendships and stuff. And like, I was like, oh, I get that. Cause she like loves her, but this is her girlfriend that she loves. And that's her best friend that she loves. And she kind of always thought of her and Buffy as like a best friend duo, right? Mm-hmm. And now it's like things are changing, which happens.
Yeah, and Buffy would definitely be the type of girl to have. Well, I mean, she moves in with Joyce, but like other circumstances, maybe have moved in with Riley a little bit quicker. I'm surprised she didn't move in with Riley.
I mean, she's there all the time.
They kind of like shacked up with both of them shacked up at Joyce's all the time, but I feel like Buffy would have moved in with them pretty quick.
I think so too. Yeah,
they couldn't afford another set. That's what it was.
Yeah. I was going to say, because season 5 could have started with, Buffy and Riley moved in, and that would have made sense. But I think it's like, we don't have room for another set. We're good. We go to Buffy and Riley, where he's wearing Xander's clothes. And I do like the line when he says, does Xander secretly hate me? Is that why he gave me these?
Nope, that's just Xander.
Also, that shirt is a shirt Riley wears. Like, I feel like he has worn that before.
Probably. I'm not even picturing the shirt. I'm picturing the pants. So I can't even like visualize the shirt.
Buffy's kind of picking up on it, but she's kind of not. Like he's like already pre-jealous. And at this point, I'm not sure.
He's giving attitude. This man walks in with fucking attitude. You need to take 12 seconds, walk out the door, get a new attitude, and come right back in, and then you can speak to me. I got too much going on. All of these people in this episode, they always are on her last damn nerve, and it's right at the finale, okay? They should all know around May time frame that Buffy's gonna have a big bad battle.
Shit gets real bad.
Leave her the fuck alone for like a month, okay? 3 weeks.
I like the idea of every May being like, no, this is the time.
It is. It's every May, every June, it's the same time frame every year. What are we surprised about? I don't know why we're not preparing already.
Knocking up on shit. He's like really he just annoys me here. Like, yeah. Because, like, sir, you're fighting about what? That she has had sex with someone?
A body count. He is upset that Buffy, that he did not deflower Buffy.
Right.
Like, he probably has like a weird ass fucking like Mormon, Utah. Where's he from? Wisconsin term? Idaho.
Iowa.
What do they say in Iowa? How do they say it in Iowa? What is virginizing?
God, I don't know. My dad's Iowa accent comes out when he's drunk, though. So.
I didn't know your dad from Iowa.
Yeah, he was.
He's tall like Riley, too.
Tall?
I thought
my dad and I are the same height.
Oh, not in my memory.
Just so everyone knows, my dad loved Zach, and I knew he would. Like, he was like, oh, that Zach's a good businessman. Oh, that Zach, like, he has a lot of, like, and I knew he would, like, love a, like, non-New Jersey person to talk to.
He did keep trying to get me to say Trump 2024, but I resisted. Did not do it.
I feel like immediately your accent endeared him towards him. He's like, probably. Maybe he's conservative like me.
I said, not me. I'm a Southern queer.
Yes, I am from Texas, but also I'm a faggot. So
yes, exactly.
We get Xander and Anya bringing Spike his initiative hideout clothes. Emma Caulfield's really good in this scene. I really like all of her little asides. Mm-hmm. Xander's like, I'm not a clothing delivery service. And she's like sipping her drink. Is like, well, he kind of is. He did bring Riley clothes earlier.
I love all of the Xander Anya lore that we have in this scene, right? Because we learned they fucking worked they both worked at a phone sex hotline. Like, I need that scene. I need that. Did? Yeah, because they talk about him and how he got fired or something. Whatever happened with him, right? And then they also talk about they switch it back to her, and he's like, well, they don't like you either or whatever. And she's like, they like me. So yeah, they both did it. They both worked on it.
They're talking about the Scoobies. That's what they're talking about. Because she's like, they don't like me, but they don't, it's like they don't disrespect me or something.
Well, then they switched from phone sex to that really quickly, because I thought that I'm going to stick with what I said. They both worked because they're both living in Xander's basement, right? So they both were working on the phone sex hotline.
I do like that. All right. Yeah, we'll go with that. Spike, we learn he can't even point a fake gun at Xander, which is kind of like, that sucks. Like, he got neutered. Yeah, to like a weird degree. And I like, what is Anya says something like, oh yeah, that's humiliating. Like, she's just like running commentary in this scene.
Yeah. This is one of the best written like plot devices that they've ever done as to why a big bad cannot kill somebody, right? Because it like is truly a reason, right? Like every other time they're got their heads in the neck and heads in your hands and about to snap the neck. But why didn't he do it? I don't know, because we can't do that, right? But Spike's got a chip in his head. So,
right. It's like,
even pointing a fake gun. Yes, terrible.
What is it? I forget how, because we get to this, but like I wrote the line down, so I thought it was funny. Where she's like, well, he is a Viking in the sack, to try to like give him support.
Something, knowing that it's probably false, because, do you think he freaked out when he found out her body count? This 1,000-year-old demon here.
God. But I wonder if, like, as a vengeance demon, if you don't need sex, if, like...
Well, she was she didn't like the men,
If we could, like, remove the horny from my brain, I would be so much more productive. It's basically removed at this point, though.
No, but that's a source of joy.
He just, like, he's setting up, that's, like, he's... hit the home run with Xander, hitting all of his insecurities. I want you to know my notes say, for the next scene, Buffy and gun is how I labeled that scene.
Yes. I'm ready to get to that. Let's go on.
It is weird seeing her carry that gun, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, her and guns, it's just, she gave us the line, these things never useful, so. And,
like, the fact that they're, like, weird, like.
It makes sense, though, like, as a young Slayer, and a Slayer who has been in this for, because I guess it would be 5 years at this point, including LA. She'd be open to trying new methods and stuff, right? Like, she hasn't really, like, she's open to new mantras and new forms of fighting, and
I think it's the weird sci-fi-ness of the gun that like makes it stick out even more to me, because it's like. Got the weird, like, even
there is
when they
just
hold
something super fever dream about it. Yeah, it's like one of those that sticks out in my memory because of the hair, the crimped hair, or like the wavy hair, the sweater, the jacket, gun combo. Like, all of it is like such a specific imprinting there.
And you mentioned this earlier. This scene should have been longer. Like, I like her and Forrest bickering and then having to fight together.
Because Forrest, as we've said, is in love with Riley. Loves Riley, because they have this whole moment where I paraphrased it in the way that it was intended, right? Okay. It's not the way it was written, but the way it was intended. Forrest says, Riley had a future before you. Buffy says, a future? And Forrest says, a future with me. He was supposed to be with me. That's what you read from that, right?
Yes, that is a very correct reading of what the underlying message was there. I do like that he tells her she has a big head.
I think this is some of my favorite stuff through the season, is the Buffy Forrest little bicker moments.
And I think we could have done that's like fun, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's like his two love interests fighting over him, the same way we get later, Angel and Riley. Is them fighting over Riley, and like he's like, the family's torn apart, and she's like, what family? What kind of family are the Corleones? And then he says, such a big head on that skinny little body. Which I just, it's like such a good specific
I know
insult.
he's such a little Twinkie boy, just young gay with all the reads.
Surprised he didn't like insult her jacket too.
He was thinking about it. He was almost. Adam walked up a little too soon.
Yeah, if Adam hadn't walked in, he might have started insulting her outfit. Yeah, Adam walks in, and I just never buy Adam as that big of a struggle for Buffy.
Possibly. I go with the machine thing. The machine thing is just like maybe a little bit newer. Because I imagine like if I was punching a person.
Right.
It feels different than punching a machine that like doesn't really move when you like hit it, right? And then has a quick it's a little takes you aback when they pick you up like you're nothing, right? When a person has a little struggle to pick you up, right? So maybe it just feels different to fight him.
That's fair.
Like physically feels different.
I think we go so quickly to he kills Forrest, he zaps her against the rock, and she like runs out of that and smacks her head on a rock. Like it just. There's something about it that just like the stakes don't feel there, even though we're seeing that like Buffy could not fight this guy.
I just think longer. Like I think longer and a moment where she gets hit by like maybe even gets zapped by the gun first or something like that. I don't know. Some debilitated for like a second for him to get to Forrest. I don't know. The scene played out. It's way too quick. Forrest does die.
We bought that she was. Like
she was
stronger. Like we bought that, and like we saw so many times Glory could like slap her across a room.
Maybe a moment where she like goes to punch, and again, I'm not remembering the rest of the season if they've had another fight like this, but like maybe when she goes to like punch him and he grabs her like arm and like the robotic part just kind of like twists it or something. Yeah, like, super easy, like a physical moment that we can see.
I think you're right. That's like what's missing. Yeah,
shows the machine part.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Because, like, in theory, I like the idea of the guy she's bickering with. She is trying to tell him to, like, go. Like, she knows he's going to get it, right? Like, she knows.
She doesn't hate him. They're fighting over a boy, but, like, they're not going to kill each other.
Right. And, like, I do like the idea of her, like, she's trying to make sure he gets away. But, like,
he's also a man with an ego. And so he's, not
going to let that little big-headed girl.
Gotta swing his balls around.
It doesn't work out well
and
for
guess
him.
what happened? Dead.
We go to Spike. I love the little, like, he's like, is almost like end scene. Like, he's like, to, like, do, like, the deep breathing for when he walks in to pretend.
Petty queen.
Yes. Is this the first time Spike's noticing Willow's gay, do you think? Or do you think he's just kind of like...
Probably had senses, but definitely the first time he is like picking up on those two specifically together.
This is like when he's like very clear. Because like I see him looking at
her one time, right? So he tasted the gay. he tasted the LGBTQ.
He knows what it tastes like.
Hold on. Let me pause you. Okay, so in his mind, like again, so we've talked about like vampires. They're all gay, right? They're all like labelless. They're just labelless. So maybe not that, but I think I lean more towards that they're together because he probably doesn't even think in terms of sexualities.
That's fair. Because I like that Giles is drunk, but I like everything that he says. Yeah. And Spike, like you said, he is really good at this shit, right? Like being like a petty jerk. And the way he comes up with this, he's like, the whole wicked, I don't have a problem with it, like, it's just really good. Because I think you're right. Spike doesn't think in that and he doesn't care, right? Like,
can kind
he
of
doesn't like them because he doesn't like
the way that the conversations are going to go, because then when it gets brought up later, the witch stuff, right? Like, that's not something that should offend you, but just, hit it that right. He planted that bomb. So
he did. And I like that he even, like, his intricate story of, no, Buffy defended you. It was Xander that was like really bad about it. And I'm like, he had a story ready to go.
He's the one voting against your rights, which I believe. I do believe it.
And he says, I wrote this quote down, a person wants to be a witch, that's their business. Like, he really is like, nothing wrong with it. And I do like, I like that Willow doesn't really encounter like but like Shrek said this would be right. It's just like,
it's just sense. A like petty ploy from Spike, because also Spike as a vampire is too evolved for conversations about sexuality, and this is like beneath him. This is stupid stuff, but He knows humans. He knows humans, and he knows the sort of like era that he's living in. So just has to say the right thing.
He talks over Tara when she tries to be sensible, because she starts to be like, oh, just talk to Buffy. And he's like, oh, no. Like, because Tara probably could have de-escalated, I think.
But he can read her too, and knows that she's more of a nervous person and a person that you can talk over, and she will shut herself down.
Yeah, if he just like bulldozes. Yeah, like I think that that's also very much on purpose.
He's so good at this.
Riley gets a call about someone in an alley, and who does he meet up with?
Angel. So stupid. So stupid. Take your ass the 25 minutes back the way you came and go back to your city. That's what pisses me off so much about this. And I watched the little previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and saw that scene right before I watched this episode of him telling her to get out of his fucking city. Well, then don't your ass come over here to Sunnydale. Don't you come over here. Somebody needs to shoot him. Shoot him. Kill him.
Stake that motherfucker. I mean, I've never been more mad at him than I was in. Like,
I'm always mad at him. Always.
He killed Miss Calendar, and I'm more mad when he like talks to her that way.
My goodness.
I will say I back in the day read a lot of fan fiction about this specific fucking
about
scene.
them too. Mm. They could have kissed.
Like,
they could have. Yeah. You know, there's the sexual undertones.
I know that I'm gay. I know my audience here, but like it just feels like they're so testosterone-y that it's like they are 2 punches away from fucking each other.
Well, I mean, in Angel goes vamp face, which is, you know, a boner.
Right? Like it basically
in
is.
In some senses it is. And I think in this situation it was. He popped a boner in a battle.
Oh, like, absolutely. Riley's like, I hate that I like this. But they're both annoying me. Both of them annoy me in this.
Yes.
Like, and I don't think anyone's supposed to not be annoying, but I just like, I hate when he's like, oh, Buffy sleeps with this guy. And it's like,
I know, again, everybody in this episode is so concerned about her and her body count. Meanwhile, she's getting thrown over rocks and banged into trees, right? Like she's fighting real fights. And he's making, why are you talking about who's Buffy sleeping with at all, right? But Angel, it's because Angel has to worry about his own chastity ring, right? He's got a permanent chastity ring on and a cage around his dick, so he can't really... It's not by his own will, you know. He can't control it, so he has to lash out at everybody else.
Me not having sex, I'm like, you and Alistair can't have sex. I can't have sex.
Cage around his dick, and the key's been lost.
Like it really is like, well, I can't have sex, so why should Buffy be having sex? My dude, she is an adult human being.
Yes, barely an adult human being, and you are a 200-year-old vampire. You creepy old son of a bitch.
I do like the way she talks to them, though. Mm-hmm. I like when Angel gets there. This, again, I hate everything he says, but this version of Buffy and Angel is my favorite version of Buffy and Angel. Where like,
okay, elaborate a little bit more on that.
Where like he needs to be invited. She's fucking pissed at him. He was talked to her like she was a piece of shit. He's still like, you have to invite. No, you can't just say, I guess.
Okay. So the moments of letting their dukes down because there's just no point in like the fight and they kind of both realize it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I really like that. And the fact that like she can be like, let me guess, you thought of something else hurtful to say to me. And then Riley comes in holding the gun and she's like, wait a minute. What? Like,
you know what I'd have done? I'd have played into what Riley wants. I'd been like, Riley, he hit me. Did you know that he hit me?
Zach!
I said, Riley, get him.
God. And like, I think, it's Angel who says you actually sleep with this guy. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But I like...
I'd been like, you slept with Spike? We want to talk about that one? Let's talk about your partners.
They're all crazy. They've all killed people. If I were Riley, I would have been pissed when he's like, I'm not moving. And again,
I did write this down. I wrote this down. Okay. Cause like in context, I get it. I get where Buffy's coming from and stuff like that. And like, Buffy's never wrong. Not in my heart. Not in my heart ever. Serious. The whole series long. She's never wrong. But if I were me and Buffy are a team, And somebody else, a third party from the past, comes in that is not supposed to be here no more. And I'm standing my ground. I'm like, well, I'm not leaving. I can be here for the conversation. And those two leave me.
Right?
Oh, Riley, I'll give you 60 seconds to be mad. I'll give you 60 seconds to come in with your comebacks and your little stumpy stomps.
Because I was like, oof, that's like a blow to his head. Like you said,
it worked on me. I'd have been pissed.
Yeah. But again, I like this version of her and Angel, when they're talking. And what is it? I didn't write the line down. Oh, but I love, she's like, you treat me like I'm just your ex. And he's like, well, technically. And she's like, shut up. Like, I really love that. I'm so charmed when Buffy's like, yeah, I know what I said. Shut the fuck up. Like, I'm
not charmed by Angel at all. No Angel in this part of the equation I will be charmed by. And I hate it when he laughs. Stupid with his stupid hair.
I was gonna say, that's what I love. I like that they're both like fighting, and then it's just they're both like, oh fucking,
because it's ridiculous. And you know what? I'm mad at everybody in this fucking episode because she is tired. She's exhausted. She just wanted to come back to her dorm room and clean her wound. Okay, it's still bleeding.
God, you're right. It's like she hasn't even told them about this part. Like,
and they're flinging dicks all over her dorm room.
Fucking Christ, God. Buffy really, like every season, she deserves a long vacation.
And not a 25-minute Greyhound to Los Angeles vacation. She needs to go somewhere else.
Yes. Send her to a nice island without monsters and some nice drinks.
Fucking over these men.
She does say, he was pounding on her boyfriend, and I was like,
you did get hard for him.
They absolutely did. He says, I don't like him, and she says, thank you, which I do. Like, I like the version of them where she can give him a look, and it's fine, and they go outside, but they're not getting back together. Like, I really like that version of their relationship when we're like, they respect each other, they have love, but they're not in love.
And to give any sort of credit that I'll ever give, I do enjoy that. I enjoy when there are moments where they pop up. I mean, she never pops up in Angel again, right? No. But when he pops up in Buffy, the ways that they do it, I am pretty okay with. Like, I love when he shows up just to comfort her, and it's not, and we as the audience don't even like fall into this trap of being like, oh my God, that means they're going to get together. No, he's here to comfort her. They have a bond that is like very specific between them. Same as with season 7. And I will give full credit to that because I do really enjoy that.
Yeah. And like, I just got like teared up because that's what my ex John did for me with my mom's funeral. Like it was like, he just showed up, he held my hand, and like my whole family was like, oh, you guys are back together. And I was like, no, we're not back together. And
then faded into the daylight.
Right. But yeah, no, I really like that version of them. And honestly, no one get mad at me. If in the revival she has that relationship with Spike, I would love that. Like, they're cool, they're fine, but they're not like.
I just don't want them to be together. I'm okay with her having bonds with people, but like.
But you know what I mean? Like, this bond with Spike, I think would play well. Yeah. I think that would they would both be able to play that really well, where it's like they still have the chemistry, but we're just like we're done with that part. God, yeah, so many people want her to be like married to him, and I'm like, what?
No,
God,
Buffy's not married.
No, God, Spike kind of is like whatever. He goes to Adam to be like, oh, it's working. But
see, another conversation between Spike and Adam that we've seen 50 times already. I feel like this exact scene has been done at the beginning of the episode.
That's what Adam has felt like most of the season, where it's like, oh, he's sitting and talking to Yvette. Well, at least now it's Spike, so it's a character I like watching, but like for most of the season, it's been like random one-off vampire guy that like I don't care about.
It's like Adam and Spike talk, Adam and Maggie talk, Adam and some talk. Adam's always talking to somebody, never doing anything, but always talking.
So Buffy then goes in to talk to Riley. This is where she has to tell him about Forrest.
Gosh, and she can't even tell him. Like, again, my girl is exhausted. This woman is exhausted and like, knows that she's about to have this really difficult conversation, and maybe thought that she would have a little bit longer to have that conversation. Maybe in the morning. Maybe in the morning she was going to tell him. Because not only, she don't even have her own bathroom right here. She was going to have to schlep her ass across the hall to the community bathroom to take a shower before these men showed up. And now One of them's gone, sure. She just dealt with that situation. Now she's got to deal with this situation. And he starts rambling. And I do think, like, again, just to give a little bit of credit here, this is like the glimmer of hope where he is like he doesn't really understand the feelings and he's trying to explain the feelings. But this is not the time, Riley. This is not the time. And now she's got to tell you about Forrest and...
Right. Ugh. And
Buffy, I feel your exhaustion. No, I get it.
She told the initiative they gotta tell him. Like,
and it sounds shitty, but I don't know if I'd have told him tonight. I'd have been like, yeah, good night. Let's go to breakfast in the morning. You're gonna go to the IHOP tomorrow morning.
Let's move. I have something to tell you at IHOP. Don't freak out. We got our pancakes. Jesus Christ.
He needs to be told over a funny face pancake. That's just who Riley is. That's his soul.
Jesus Christ. I don't know that he would react well. I mean, he just leaves. I don't know. It is his best friend. He feels conflicted, but like...
Sure. But I feel Buffy's exhaustion more than I feel his sadness.
I really do.
I'm sorry.
Because then she has to go directly to Giles and be like, well, I guess I gotta keep planning fighting Adam.
A nap.
She has been wearing this, like, she's in the same outfit. That means that, like, this has been all the same day. Like,
all the same day. She's tired. Buffy's exhausted.
She has done
it's a long day. Do you know how many times she had to fight today? She got slapped by her ex-boyfriend.
She got that stupid Frankenstein monster zapping her with a
helicopter shot at her the night before.
An angel. Oh, God. We then get our, like, she goes to Giles, and like you said, she's fucking exhausted, and she's definitely playing up the, like...
Oh, Sarah's so good at this, right? Like, Sarah understood Buffy's exhaustion at this point. Also, keep in mind, Sarah and her schedule filming Buffy the Vampire Slayer was an exhaustion schedule just like this. So, while everybody else is fighting and getting mad at semantics and all this, she's, like, really, like, I don't have fucking time for this. What are we doing here?
She's like, can someone just tell me what I do to Adam to kill him? Just
who has the map?
Yeah. Tell me, I'm tired. I'm going to go kill him. Just tell me what I need to do.
Shit. She's like, you know what? Before I go to bed, I would like to kill Adam. I'd just like to knock this out really quick, right? Let's end the season early. That's why the last episode is her taking a nap.
You're right.
A well-deserved little snooze.
She can't even have a relaxing one.
I hope in the last 20 years she has been taking real good naps.
You know, I saw someone say in a comment, they're like, oh, she should never, like, something where it's like, well, she should still be slaying all the time. Like, why would she be working a regular job? And I'm like, she deserves to, like...
And I do think she would be slaying all the time. I think it's just kind of like a thing for her. Yeah. But, like, she did not want to be a leader her whole life.
No, she didn't.
So I don't want to see her as the leader, you know?
She just, she very clearly did not want that. And, like, season 7, that's why, like, when she has her fits, like, I feel like when we covered it, I was a little bit, for the first time ever, I was kind of, like, very much in the middle of, like, yes, she is being harsh, but also, yes, she's had so much shit thrown at her. Like,
so much shit. Always.
So much.
And the end of season 7 is relieving her of that leadership title, that there are so many other people here now in this fight against the forces of darkness that can take over. And she can go and work that little job that she has in New York City. And I cannot wait to see her working that job. I know she's going to lose that job. I know it's going to happen. She's going to have to go start fighting the forces of darkness again. A big bad, but
I'll say she's had that job for 2 episodes maybe, but I will love seeing her. I hope she gets to stake a vampire in New York City.
I want to see Buffy living a normal life a little bit, like, and without the depression, right? Like, I know she'll be a little sad.
Without the depression.
She's probably going to start the episode a little sad. But I don't know. I can't wait to see where her life is right now.
Like, I would like to see her, like, grabbing a drink.
Go to a movie.
Yes.
Right? Like, what are her hobbies?
I feel like Buffy doesn't watch movies. I don't know. I feel like she, like...
She's a routine girly, you know?
Yeah.
She has a routine. Her TV shows she likes to watch. Doesn't really know how to work a Roku TV, but tries.
I don't either. My dad got a smart TV and he was asking me about it, and I was like,
Ian's still playing off a Fire Stick, y'all. Nope. No Roku.
Why is that bad? Isn't that people
Yes,
have
that's
fire
dated.
sticks?
Not anymore. That's dated. Yeah.
But it's so easy.
Technology's going fast. You and Buffy Summers, both of you. She's probably still got that Apple TV
I gotta
box.
say, fucking damn it! Can you see it? Is that what you're saying? You can see it because you can see it.
No, but every time we watch a movie together or something, I can see you pulling out your little Fire Stick box, holding it up to get reception. Pushing a remote.
Rude.
Sometimes you gotta unplug the Fire Stick too because it don't work, so you gotta replug it in.
And it works. That works. Unplugging and plugging back in works for a Fire Stick. I don't fucking know why.
Yes.
You're making me feel old.
Buffy's old too.
She's older than me.
Exactly.
But also, I do think she would be terrible at technology. Because
which is something I'm very much looking forward to seeing because I hope we get a little beat of that.
Yes. I feel like she wouldn't understand TikTok. She watches them, but she wouldn't know anything about
She didn't realize that when you hit save on a video that they can see that.
Yeah.
So she's saving some wild shit.
I love the idea of her saving hot guys and they're
probably.
Is that the famous vampire slayer saving my shirtless thirst trap? That would be a nice ego boost. Anyway, they get into their fight.
Yes.
Xander starts it.
It's fucking all over the place too. It's like a ping pong ball. It's like pinball. It's bouncing all over the place, and I can barely even keep up with the fight. Xander mad that they even suggested that he would be going into the military. I think that was a weak one, by the way. I'm like, why? They thought you was doing something with your life.
I think, Willow's is the most oh yeah, if they were being homophobic, I get it. That's the one where it's I really do like that Anya and Tara immediately exit and just go to sit in the bathroom.
I love the shot of them sitting in the bathroom and kind of listening from the outside.
Tiles.
Yeah.
I think that tracks. Anya might have sat there if Tara hadn't left, but I think she would be like, oh, okay, the girlfriends are leaving. Let me go with her. Mm-hmm. And Tara absolutely wants nothing to do with that fight.
Any of this. No, this isn't my scene. This isn't where I want to be. And it's none of my business also, by the way. So y'all handle it. Y'all work it out. I like Giles just piping in with it's focus on me, everybody.
Him drunk is really good.
It is. It's great. It's funny.
I was about to say, again, Tara's Alistair, because me and you fighting and him being like, all right, guys, bye.
There's no time for it. No time for it.
Yeah, drunk Giles really works for me in the comedy bits. I had the line she says, if I was any more open-minded, my brain would spill out. In retrospect, don't love that line as much as I used to, but it was in my AIM profile for a really long time.
Was it?
Yeah.
There you go. You should bring it back. Put it in your Twitter profile.
I thought it was a really good quote just because but yeah, didn't age so well, but.
Okay. It's a good line.
Yeah. But I mean, it's she's complaining about being open. It's
yes.
Girl. But I like it. And again, you just feel her exhaustion.
Yeah, I think that's all I feel about it. It's the whole argument thing is so stupid. Again, planted so well by Spike, but just is dumb. And I feel Buffy more than anybody else in this. And so, sorry.
And she even says at one point, I think she says all I want us to do is defeat this demon that. And that is all she's right. She just is I need a nap, but I need us to kill this monster. This, you said, it's she wants to do it before bed.
Yes. And Willow's is, again, like you said, I think the only one that I kind of listen to a little bit more. I cannot care less about Xander droning on about his insecurities. Don't care. Don't care, don't want to hear them. I used to go through, when I finally got this box set on DVD, I used to go through them to find where she, said she was gay. I was obsessed with finding that. I would go through disc, go through episode, trying to find those. And she really just doesn't say it. And, Girlfriend is the first time that she's really, out to this group and says, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm a lesbian.
I do kind of I give Xander his comedic beat when he's what?
Girlfriend.
When he
good. It was good.
It was good. Because I also do like that it's you didn't tell me? What? Everyone else here knows.
I barely told anybody else, too. I watched the discs. I watched the episode. She barely told anybody else.
I think I've told you this. I'm not sure if I have, but we talked about it in the New Moon Rising recording. Kim was the last of my friends that I told, and she reacted fine. We were like on the beach, and like our friends were in the water. Her and I were laying down, and I told her, and everyone started coming back, and she said something like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not telling anybody." And I was like, "Oh, they all already know." That pissed her off. And like retrospect, I kind of understand why it would piss her off.
Yeah,
like,
sure. I mean, if you're thinking of your friendship pecking order, I guess. Right. I sent emails to a couple people.
Oh yeah,
and then figured
they would like tell
the other people. Well, that they would tell people maybe, but that also I didn't care to like talk to anybody else from high school when I moved. I was moving to fucking Alabama from South Carolina. Yeah. Like I wasn't going to talk to those people again. So I was just going to be out when I got there, and then ended up back in the closet, and so that got all complicated. But my thing was always let other people tell for me. So
that's you know. And the episode ends with her kind of storming out, right?
Yeah, I mean Riley shows up to Adam, but
okay. Oh, right.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I just don't care about that.
I don't care. Yeah. Don't care. Sure, Riley. Whatever your fucking intention is here. And Buffy is too tired to come chasing your ass right this second, so she is gonna go home, go to sleep, and yeah.
Yeah, she's like just no well.
That's how we should have ended the episode. Is Buffy laying down in silence, closing her eyes, and created by Joss Whedon.
It's just her curling up, getting her eyes shut.
That's all I wanted to see.
What would Dawn be doing in this episode? I have an answer if you need to think about it.
I don't think I've had to do this since she died either.
Oh yeah.
What would Dawn be doing?
Do you want me to give my answer?
Go ahead, yeah.
I think someone would have had, I think Anya would have still been her babysitter this early, like, as long as they could find one. They would be like, sure, Anya babysit, and Dawn would have been in that bathroom with Tara and...
I see it. Okay, so Joyce had something to do today. She had to drive 3 hours to L.A. And so Dawn and Xander are watching... Or not Dawn and Xander. Anya and Xander are watching Dawn, and so they take her with them throughout the day to like Spike's crypt, and they're not supposed to. They're supposed to be babysitting at the house, but they take her with them. And,
right, and I feel like...
And she ends up in the bathroom with them. I think that's a good... Yeah.
But I think they would have to pull her to the bath. Like, she would want to stay for the fight, and they have to be like, no, we're leaving. Like,
and when we hear girlfriend, when we have that beat from Xander, we also get another beat, and you can hear her from the bathroom say, girlfriend, also.
Yes, wait, so I like that, yes.
Yeah.
Look, see, we yes-anded each other.
Yes.
What was your favorite outfit?
And I don't even know that I like it as much as it just sticks out in my head so much. But Buffy, and the white and the hair, and specifically with the wound, because I do love a nicely placed wound.
You do like a wound. Mm-hmm. The other day, I saw someone did a custom... Was it Sydney? There was a custom action figure covered in blood, and I was like, Zach might have been right. They look kind of cool covered in blood.
They look great. And Buffy's best wound is over the eyebrow, and they do it so often that I'm so happy that she has it at the very end of the series. It's just my favorite. And
it really is like a good spot for her to have a wound. I don't know why, but I don't know.
She just wears everything, even a wound. Sarah wears a wound.
But I'm the same answer as you, because I agree. I'm not sure that I like love it, but it like, you think of that. Like, if you were like, oh, the outfit she has in Yoko Factor, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that outfit. Like,
yeah. Chunky turtleneck.
Yeah, she looks so good in one. Favorite scene?
I don't even know if I do, because I don't know if I love this episode. I guess... Because I'm exhausted by the fight. I hate the fight at the end because I'm exhausted for her. I'm exhausted whenever she's interacting with all of these stupid people in the episode. So which scene is she by herself? When she first gets to her dorm room before the guys show up.
5 seconds before the men show up.
Maybe before she walks up to Adam, before Forrest even finds her, when she has just a moment of peace.
That really is the only moment of peace she gets in the episode. And she's holding a fucking laser gun, but that's her moment of peace.
I'm about to leave this woman alone.
I think my favorite is her and Angel in the hallway, because I do really like that.
That's fair.
What grade do you give the episode, Zach?
Like a B, solid B, because I don't dislike it either. It just is an episode.
It very much because I was thinking of combining this with Primeval, but I agree with you. Like, this is kind of just an episode setting up, but there's a lot of the
There's
setup,
a lot to talk about. Like, I had a good
Yeah.
time talking about it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go back and watch the episode again.
Right.
you
Like,
know?
yeah, like it's fine. If I'm leaving my whatever up and it goes to this episode, sure, fine. But yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna like seek this one out. I think same B.
Okay.
Because yeah, again, it's yeah. Look at us. This was
Look
nice
at
recording
us.
with you. I missed you.
An hour and 6 minutes. I have never been on an episode that has gone under an hour and 26 minutes.
I know. We did it, folks. If you're listening to this on Patreon, thank you so much for subscribing. And you should find us both at My Bloody Judy if you're looking for both of us.
Yes.
Because we have a horror podcast. And
There's movies
fun.
that are going to come out pretty soon on digital that we'll have to start covering, like Sinners, Clown in a Cornfield.
Ooh, yeah.
What is that one? Dead Until Daylight. What is that one? Until Dark. Until Dawn.
Until Dawn.
Until
Yeah.
Dawn. I missed that at the theater, so
I
it's
did
already
too.
fucking out of the theater here. So I want to go see that
Destination.
one too. Yeah, so we'll have to cover all those when that comes out on digital.
Cool. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Perfect.